She's so fine. Hell of a hell of a blows my mind. Hell of a hell of a lights my day.
What's good, guys? This story is coming out of Houston, Texas, H-Town, where there's sunny weather year-round, diversity, NASA, the land of job opportunities, sports teams galore, a hub of oil and gas industries, and over 10,000 restaurants. But also recently ranked number 16 on the most dangerous places to live, Harris County, Texas, where there was 14,769 incidents of violent crime. And I believe that is exactly what happened in the early morning hours of September the 21st of 2023. Deundrea Ford, 21, was working at the Diva's Bikini sports bar, which is in the 11,900 block of East Freeway in Houston, Texas. And she had been working there for just a few short weeks. Around 1 a.m., she was seen getting into a white van with an unidentified Hispanic male outside of that sports bar. And her family now believe that she was abducted. Now, what's odd about this is that when they ran the surveillance footage back inside of Diva's Bikini sports bar, they saw an employee of that same establishment speaking to this unknown male for quite a while, who was extremely friendly with him. There was also a manager who was present, and nobody seems to know who this person is. Now, Deundrea Ford is 5'4" tall. She weighs 170 pounds with a medium complexion. She was last seen wearing a black tank top and tan pants, exotic dancewear, and shoes. But what's even more strange about this case is that Deundrea Ford was a witness in a capital murder case in May of this year. So, as the story goes, Deundrea Ford and another woman, 21-year-old Quitiana Taylor, traveled to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to work as dancers and prostitutes for clients brought to them by a man named Otis Parker on May the 10th of 2023. On May the 18th of 2023, Otis Parker was driving the two girls back home from Louisiana with the cash that they had made there. Quitiana Taylor allegedly planned to rob Otis Parker of $1,500 in cash. So when the three drove up to the Villa Americana Apartments on Selinsky Road, Otis Parker was shot and killed. At that time, Deundrea Ford was listed as a passenger in the front seat. Jamal Brown, 22, was the shooter. We know that from the case file. Gerald Wheeler was an accomplice along with Quitiana Taylor and 20-year-old Mariah Green. Now, Jamal Brown was killed a month later in a shootout with police. And Gerald Wheeler happened to be a former Harris County detention officer. He and the other two females, Quitiana Taylor and Mariah Green, both remain in the jail. Now, as I said, Deundrea Ford had been talking to this man inside of Diva's Bikini Sports Bar and Grill. The surveillance footage from that establishment caught this white van, work van, driving away from the bar at approximately 2:30 a.m. Deundrea Ford called a friend of hers about a half hour earlier, but that friend of hers happened to be asleep and she didn't get the call. The next morning, she saw where Deundrea had called and she had missed the call. And when she tried to call Deundrea back, she could not get in touch with her. Now, if her phone is still on, whoever she's with has turned off her location. This is according to her grandmother, Bridget Carrier, and also her uncle, Kevin Carrier. Now, as I said, this is an unknown Hispanic male in a white GMC Savannah, three-door van. And he sat in that parking lot with Deundrea Ford for approximately an hour. Now, Deundrea Ford called her grandmother's friend who gives her a ride home from work to tell her that someone else would be taking her home. The family friend told her immediately, "Do not go. I will be there. Do not go." But she went anyway. And when her ride pulled up, her grandmother's friend, the van was taking off out of the parking lot of Diva's Bikini Club, and it had both its headlights and taillights off. Now, there is video footage of this, and you can just barely make out a New Jersey license plate, but you cannot clearly see the whole license number. It is not a passenger van. This is a work van. Now, a few other things about Deundrea Ford that are distinct is her hair was just freshly braided that same day, which would have been, this happened on the 21st, so this early morning on the 21st of September. So this would have been on September the 20th. Fresh hair, really long braided extensions. Like I said, there was another unidentified woman who was seen on video inside the club sitting next to Deundrea Ford before she left. And, as I said before, there was a manager present at this club. Now, Deundrea Ford has not been listed in NamUs, but she is on the Black and Missing Foundation website. And she does have several distinctive tattoos. She has a floral tattoo sleeve on her right arm, an upper forward-facing tattoo on her right shoulder, a large rose on her right thigh, and Roman numeral on her left forearm. She also has a hand tattoo near her thumb. Along with this capital murder case that she was a witness in, threats have been made against Deundrea Ford's life, and they are documented in a probable cause affidavit, which was filed in June of this year against 22-year-old Gerald Trevon Wheeler. In a text message between Jamal Brown and Quintiana Taylor, Jamal Brown texted Quintiana, quote, "She got to go too." Quintiana Taylor texts back, quote, "I'm already knowing," end quote. The English, it's horrific. But regardless, at 4:30 a.m. on the day of this case, if you will, that Deundrea Ford had witnessed, she was sleeping in the front seat passenger seat, which was driven by Otis Parker, when she heard gunshots as the vehicle pulled into an apartment complex, which is the Villa Americana in southeast Houston. And another court document outlined that the bond conditions revealed that on June the 30th, a judge issued a no-contact order between the defendants in that capital murder case and Deundrea Ford. Harris County deputies fatally shot Jamal Brown on July the 12th while attempting to serve him with a murder warrant. Now, Quintiana Taylor's court-appointed attorneys, Angela Welton and James Stafford, issued the following statement. Women, barely more than children, such as our client, who are being sex trafficked in Houston and New Orleans, are often treated less than human. They are stripped of their possessions, their freedom, and the rights to their own bodies. Our hearts go out to all the human trafficking victims who have been used, abused, and discarded. End of quote. I don't care what Deundrea Ford does for a living. She has a 4-year-old son, and she has the God-given right to do what she wants to do to make money, to survive, and to take care of her child. That's her choice. I'm not going to get into that. That's none of our business. But when you live a certain lifestyle, it kind of hoists you into harm's way. And that's a fast life, and it's a scary life. So it sounds like she had certain measures in place to try to keep herself safe, like getting a ride from her grandmother's friend home from work. Her 4-year-old son was being taken care of while she was at work. Her family cares about her, and they want to get this word out because they feel like something has happened to Deundrea Ford to where she has been abducted. I definitely wanted to bring this story to the channel because I can only imagine. Here you're already worried about her job that she chooses, and then she comes up missing. And I'm sure this was one of their fears in the very back of their mind, that something like this would happen. And it did. Their worst nightmare came true. So I want to get this out, and I'm going to continue to follow this case as updates come out. She was last seen, like I said, on September the 21st of 2023 at approximately 2:30 a.m., leaving in the work van from the parking lot of Diva's Bikini Bar. And if you have any information, you've been asked to contact the Houston Police Department. You can contact your local police department. They will patch you through. And I'm going to end the story on that note. Thanks for watching, guys.